Okay. Quick shout out to my two super comrade supporters, my partner, who is the first one to sign up on Patreon, and Independent Left News. Thank you for supporting my work on Patreon. Very much appreciated. So I found this tweet by Max Blumenthal pretty interesting. Democratic Representative Richie Torres introduced a bill in the House that would more or less dictate that the Department of Homeland Security place people who have not been vaccinated on a no-fly list. Again, we can't. This is really the focus of those in power right now, instead of maybe making sure people have health care or making it easier for people to get the vaccine or incentivizing or giving more education around it. It's this very authoritarian, this just huge overreach, not wanting people to be able to travel on airplanes if they're not vaccinated. And again, for the most part, people that aren't vaccinated tend to be working class, tend to be the poor, tend to be vulnerable and marginalized groups. So it's just kind of adding insult to injury, and really isn't going to solve any problems, but just is really a huge form of government overreach and really frankly disgusting. Here's another tweet. Representative Torres' bill appears to have been inspired by this op-ed by Juliet Kayem. Kayem is a former DHS official who lobbied for the Israeli NSO group behind the notorious Pegasus tech used to spy on journalists in the world. What could go wrong? Quite a bit is obviously what he's insinuating at. I mean, just really disgusting. So let's take a look at the actual bill itself, again, which would establish this no-fly list that DHS would put people on who aren't, vaccinated. Like, obviously, pretty questionable Department of Homeland Security, which again was created after 9/11, and mass surveillance expanded exponentially, after 9/11, and this would just be another form of government overreach. And from what I've heard, once you're on these no-fly lists, it's very, very impossible, almost impossible, I should say, to get off of it. So even if somebody wasn't vaccinated at one point, they get it, they still might be on that no-fly list, not being able to travel. I mean, just how really just draconian and authoritarian this is. And again, it would impact the most, kind of vulnerable, marginalized, because those, for the most part, are the people who haven't got the COVID-19 vaccine yet. Does this apply? So here's the title of the bill, you could see. To direct the Secretary of Homeland Security to ensure any individual traveling on a flight that departs from or arrives to an airport inside the U.S. or territory of the U.S. is fully vaccinated against COVID-19 and for other purposes. So, does that apply to kids that are either in the U.S. or coming into the U.S.? Does that mean, kids under 12 who haven't gotten the vaccine, they wouldn't be able to travel on airlines anymore? I mean, just again, huge government overreach. And I mean, again, just how ridiculous. This is the focus of this Democratic member of the House of Representatives, instead of maybe, giving everybody health care, or another survival check, or canceling student debt, or an eco-socialistic Green New Deal, or closing down the 700 plus military bases, getting people out of prison, as the U.S. has the largest prison population in the world, closing the, concentration camps at the border, a whole laundry list of things that seems like it would make a lot more sense to focus on, as opposed to setting up this no-fly list for people who haven't been vaccinated. I mean, Jesus Christ. So then it was referred to the Committee of Homeland Security. This was back on August 6th, so we'll see. Obviously, hopefully nothing happens with this. But I mean, again, and then it's giving the power to DHS. Not good. Except exemption, ineligible and medically unable. So yeah, really, really cringe. So hopefully nothing happens with this, but we'll see. Like the video if you like the video, subscribe for more content. Peace. What's up?